Well, joining me now is CNN political commentator and former executive director of the Congressional Black Caucus, Angela Rye. Also, William Smith, who was chief counsel for the Senate Judiciary Committee when Senator Sessions was a ranking member. He's currently chief of staff for Representative Gary Palmer. William, let me start off with you. You worked for Senator Sessions. You know the guy. Did he ever exhibit any racist behavior? What do you make of the allegations from 30 years ago?
He never exhibited any racial behavior. If you look at the testimony of Mr. Hebert, who you just had there, he has provided false testimony to the Senate Judiciary Committee during that confirmation hearing. If you go back and look at the real transcript, Mr. Hebert had to supplement his testimony to admit that he lied during that confirmation hearing.
So you're saying categorically that Sessions is being smeared on this?
That's exactly right. So there's no doubt in my mind that Senator Sessions is being smeared. If you go back and look at the transcripts and you look at the testimony that Hebert provided, later on he had to come back and say, I'm sorry, I lied at this confirmation hearing.
Angela, how do you reconcile what William is saying about the Senator Sessions that he knows personally?
So there are a couple of things here. You hear often people who exhibit racist behavior saying things like, I have black friends. And that does not negate institutional or systemic racism. I don't know if Jeff Sessions is racist or not, but I do know that he acknowledged, perhaps saying that the NAACP was communist or un-American, an organization that has worked to protect not only the rights of black people in this country, but all people since 1909. I don't know if Jeff Sessions is racist or not, but I know that a deputy U.S. attorney who worked under him said that he called him repeatedly boy and told him to watch how he talked to white folks. I don't know if Jeff Sessions is racist or not, but I do know that he's worked to fraudulently, by the way, to prosecute a lead organizer that worked with Dr. King and two other civil rights activists for voting fraud. 1986, Anderson, the same year that he stood before the Judiciary Committee for that nominations hearing. I don't know if he's a bigot, but I know that he's worked vehemently against immigrants in this country, that he supports building a wall, and I don't know if he's a bigot. I'm not done, William. I'm not done. I'm almost done. I don't know if he's a bigot or not, but I know that he's said some horrible things about the LGBTQ community, and he's opposed them. He's also opposed.
But clearly, politically, he doesn't agree with you. But
I'm not
those
talking about politics, Anderson. I'm talking about human decency.
Okay.
You don't call a grown
William,
black man
I want you to be able to
boy.
respond.
I don't think she knows much about human decency.
Oh,
she doesn't
really?
know Jeff Sessions. She's never met Jeff Sessions. She's never spent 30 seconds with Jeff Sessions. I've spent 20 years of my life around Jeff Sessions. I know Jeff Sessions well. And so to sit around here and say a person you've never met, a person you don't know, a person you never talked to is a racist is inappropriate.
So let me ask you, William, counselor, let me ask you this. When did you hear me say?
Have you ever met Jeff Sessions?
When did you hear? Yes, I have met Jeff Sessions, actually.
The answer to that is no, you have not spent 10 minutes with Jeff Sessions.
Okay, you asked a question. Let her respond.
So, William, let me help you, because even though we're both attorneys, somehow you actually missed what I said. What I said repeatedly was I don't know if Jeff Sessions is a racist. I don't know if he's a bigot. I gave you the fruit. And I know one thing. We know a tree by the fruit it bears. So you can call it what you want to. I don't know if he's racist or not.
You don't like Jeff
No,
Sessions.
this isn't about the policies.
William, go ahead.
You don't like Jeff Sessions' policies, and that's your big problem. So, but the American people like the policies Jeff Sessions has come up with. That's the reason he's been reelected by overwhelming amounts. And that's the reason the American people have said, we stand with Jeff Sessions.
The American people haven't
stood
said that.
with you.
Well, but Angela, voters have voted
in
for
Alabama.
Him. Well, yeah, in Alabama to be their senator for many, many years.
Sure.
I mean, he's put himself in the public arena.
And I hate to say this, Anderson, but let's be honest. We have people who vote in the South who don't necessarily stand with where I stand on voting rights. Jeff Sessions had the opportunity to work to ensure that it was easier for people in this democracy to vote, and he's opposed that as well.
How did Jeff Sessions vote on the Voting Rights Act? He voted for.
How?
Okay?
What has he done?
For.
What has he done to move the Voting Rights Amendments Act, William? What has he done for that?
If you want to talk about the Voting
what
Rights
has he
Act
done after Shelby versus
let
Holder?
Let me talk about what Jeff Sessions has done. When you and probably the NAACP was opposing Janice Rogers Brown, a fine African-American jurist to settle on the bench, Jeff Sessions was right there defending her. Where were you at?
So again, William, you're making a lot
I'm
of
asking you a
assumptions.
question.
That's
When
fine.
Jeff Sessions
And I'm
was there
Let her
defending
answer.
Janice Rogers
You asked the
Brown.
question. Let her answer now.
So tonight you've attacked me on my human decency. You told me I'm not
I'm
a
not
decent
attacking
person.
your human
That's
decency.
actually
I'm
that's,
asking you where you were when Jeff Sessions was fighting for civil rights.
you know where I was when he was fighting for civil rights? Not here. I'm still not here apparently because that's not his record. What I will tell you is
You don't know its record.
Okay.
You've got a bunch of rhetoric. That
no,
you're-
I actually don't
Show
have a
me
bunch
some
of
facts.
rhetoric. You
Show
have
me some facts.
Right.
You
These
talked
are
about the Voting
facts.
Rights
You
Act. Jeff
just
Sessions
don't like
voted
them
for the
because you're the
Voting Rights
one
Act.
black guy that he hired on the committee doesn't make him a civil rights leader, William. It actually really doesn't. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, you can leave it at that because you have nothing.
I actually have a lot. I gave you a list. You just don't like the list.
We're going to take a break. William Smith, I appreciate you being on. Appreciate
Thanks
your
for having me.
perspective. Angela Rye as well. Up next, we got.